What's up, my crypto legends? Yes, I know the Bitcoin price looking very boring, going slightly to the downside and sideways. Are we going to see more pain in the market? This is something that we're going to discuss in today's episode, but also this chart over here that we published the beginning of June here on our Twitter, and I did mention this on my videos also back in the summer when we were trading just above $30,000, that the 65k levels was not the peak. We did hit 69k, and also I do think that we are going to go to much higher levels in the next coming months, that the market cycles are extending, as you can see here on this chart, from the local bottom to the ultimate high here. On every cycle it takes longer and longer, so this market cycle peak would end by first or second quarter of 2022, something we're going to discuss in this episode. We'll be taking a look at the Bitcoin price, also on the 4 hourly, on the 1 hourly. We're going to take a look at Ethereum, see what's going on, and the total crypto market cap. You know the deal. I think this bump and run scenario is going to play out in the next coming days, as we are going to go sideways and slightly to the downside potentially, and then have a massive breakout here from the resistance from these lower highs in the coming days. So make sure to stay tuned, guys. Hello there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Daily TA on Bitcoin, crypto, and also to live streams to connect with the community. Not financial advisor, don't buy or sell anything that I say. Guys, this chart over here, we did post this back on the 2nd of June, okay, of 2021, okay, just a few months ago, and we were trading above $30,000. Everybody was in doubt to see if, was the market cycle finishing? Are we going to go back up the $65,000 all-time high, or are we just going to go sideways and slightly to the downside for the next year or two, right? Because everybody was in doubt. Now, we had talked about this scenario over here on Bitcoinsensus, also on the YouTube channel, also on Twitter, that the market cycles are extending in time, all right? If you take a look at the first cycle from 2010 to 2011, it was pretty fast, all right? These are weekly bars, and here in the yellow, you have the second cycle and the third cycle here from 2013, peaking in 2017, almost at $20,000. Now here with the weekly bars, you can see from the ultimate low to the high, it's, the timing is longer. Now in the orange here, we can see that we did find the bottom back in December of 2018. So that was the local bottom from the peak from the bear market. And since then, we've been in a bull market, right? So if we take this theory that the cycles are extending in time, it wouldn't make sense to peak just yet. It is very, very likely that we might be peaking first or second quarter of 2022. And yes, of course, it's not going to be an easy ride. Not everybody would be making huge gains. We need people to be fearful, to sell their crypto, and then potentially on a massive parabolic run, come back in. So this is the deal, guys. I think that now we are basically, when we posted this, we were just trading above $30,000. So yes, we did successfully come back up to the $69,000 all-time high. And now we're just consolidating, as you know. And I do believe so that, entering into 2022, we should be breaking again that 69k levels and be trading above at least $70,000 by the end of the year. And yes, in my opinion, 100k will be reached sometime first quarter or second quarter of 2022. So nothing to worry about. Just by looking at this theory, it does make total sense, especially when we have all the advertisement of crypto.com. A lot of people still coming into crypto, so mass adoption is growing very, very fast. We need to see a massive hype very soon. Now let's just zoom in here on the BTC price, because yes, we are going to the downside. We're going sideways and to the downside, so it's looking very boring, very worrying. Are we going to have a waterfall kind of sell-off here? I do not think so. This is making me very, very bullish. If we slightly go to the downside and sideways, it is super, super bullish. As talked on the live streams and on many of my videos. This sideways action is just super, super bullish. You know the deal. What happened after this? We had massive pump action here in October, as you can see. So slightly lower lows. If we create slightly lower lows here in the next coming days, it's still going to be looking very, very bullish. I see this breaking to the upside in the next coming days. Now we could come to much lower levels. Yes, we could hit 54, we could hit $53,000, which would be the very end here of this descending wedge, also getting massive support from this resistance. And this is the moment where I would become extremely bullish, all right, on BTC, ready for that breakout here to the upside. Now, one of the most important charts that we need to take a look at is this one right over here. This is the total crypto market cap. You know the deal. I do believe so that the bump and run scenario is going to play out, because you do create lower highs on a bump and run, slightly dip here, come back up, create a lower high, and then on the second attempt you have a massive sell-off. Now this is a massive sell-off. Whoever thinks that this is just a small correction and this is the beginning of a bigger correction, we went from 2.86 trillion dollars in market cap all the way down here to 2.42. This is over 400 billion that was lost in the market in less than 5 days. Okay, so that is a huge correction in the total crypto market cap. Now what is going to happen, in my opinion, is we are just going to go slightly to the downside and to the upside until we break the massive resistance here, creating this bump and run scenario. And also this could be a descending broadening wedge, as you can see, connecting the lower lows here and the lower highs. So you know the measured move target is very similar from a bump and run and from this descending broadening wedge. And you know, depending on where we break out, we should be tackling in the next coming days or maybe a week or two that $3 trillion market capitalization, as you can see here on the chart. So it wouldn't make sense here just to go sideways. And the reason why I am saying this also, guys, is because of the $2.4 trillion massive support that we've got. That's been huge resistance here in the past, as you can see here on the 4-hourly chart. So very likely that this major support level is going to hold. Also the higher lows, major support trend line also. So everything is connected, everything's connecting that this is just going to go sideways, maybe slightly to the downside. See a little bit of fear. Okay, we could dip slightly below the $2.4 trillion and then have that massive breakout here to the upside. Very likely scenario to happen in the next coming weeks, guys. Remember, for the experienced traders, Bybit has still got this bonus going on, up to $4,100 worth of bonus on Bybit to claim here with my link in the description. For Prime XBT, you get 50% added to your deposit by using my link in the description and Bitcoinsensus 50 as the promotion code. You got both of the tutorials down below also in the description. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the 1 hourly. All right, I'm already rushing to Ethereum. Bitcoin on the 1 hourly, we can see that we are still in this kind of consolidation, this kind of descending broadening wedge, all right, being very boring. And it looks like that we have found a very good support range here, which is round about that 55.8k levels right over here, as you can see. So are we going to manage to form that kind of double bottom scenario right over here, consolidate and come back up, break resistance here from this descending broadening wedge and tackle here the 60k levels, which is also a major resistance? Now if we do get above the $60,000, that was going to be looking very good, because this is also a major resistance where it's been huge support in the past. Okay, we did have a little bit of a fake out, but you can see we've been bouncing several times at that $60,000 as support. Huge consolidation here as support before the breakout. So as soon as we tackle 60k levels and break to the upside, it is going to be looking very good for BTC, because if we get above this range, it is going to be acting as a heavy support again. We're talking about that $60,000 levels. This is plus minus $1,000 or $2,000, guys, because of the volatility. You know, you can take a look at the dip here. We went from $60,000 to $58,000. Came straight back up here and managed to hold our support. So be careful with volatility here if you are willing to do any breakout trading. So this is what I got. I think that, you know, even though we do dip down below this 55.8k levels and continue to the downside, hitting $54,000, I think that we are still inside of this descending broadening wedge. And as you know, we'll be still inside this huge descending wedge that we've been forming, okay, since the mid-October. So well over a month forming this kind of scenario over here, this kind of descending wedge that I do think that is going to break finally to the upside in the next few days, guys. So let's take a look at Ethereum. A quick nip here on Ethereum. Now, you know the deal. Ultimate bottom, in my opinion. And I don't want to choose bottoms, all right, because we could break the support, but I just want to show you how, this level is so strong. And like I showed you on the rest of my videos, we got the lower highs here from this resistance and also the higher lows here from the support, right? And, this is crossing right over here. So this level is going to be so strong for Ethereum to hold and then continue to the upside. It's going to be very hard for Ethereum to break this range here to the downside. So now that nothing is happening just too much on Ethereum because it's looking very boring. We're just going sideways, slightly to the upside, down, back up again. We are ranging in between $4,000 and $4,300. So it's looking very boring. But this, this is the moment you want to become very bullish, because before you know it, we might be breaking this this resistance at the 3,000, at the 4,350, and then we're going to continue to the upside and tackle here the all-time high for Ethereum. This is the scenario that I see, guys, happening when we do have this dip. You could arguably discuss that this is also a kind of bump and run scenario on Ethereum, where you do create slightly lower highs, and then you have the sell-off, and then you go sideways here for the next coming days. Very boring price action, maybe slightly to the downside, and then finally you're going to break this resistance and then continue to the upside and tackle the all-time high for Ethereum. So this is what I'm expecting. Now, worst case scenario, like I said, worst case scenario would be coming down to tackle in between $4,000 and $3,800 here for Ethereum, where we're going to see the strongest support there before we get a bounce. So just a quick update to see what is going on in the market, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'll be doing a live stream afterwards, and check out the Bitcoinsensus website for the latest news and technical analysis. The link is down below. And if you haven't seen my Bybit or Prime XBT tutorial to learn how to trade on those platforms, video on the screen, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you later.